Hello, and welcome to Hope for Felons podcast, where we discuss felons and everything in between. Your host for this show is Douglas Van Vliet. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Hope for Felons podcast. It is so good to be back on the show with you today. We have a lot of exciting things to share with you, and I really hope that this podcast will be a blessing and a help to you as we feel that we might be on the right road as far as the recovery for this coronavirus, but we don't know because it looks like the numbers are spiking again, so who really knows? Anyway, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the felons being released from prison. If you or anyone else has a family member, friend, or anyone that's being released from prison and would like to learn a little bit more about what to expect, please contact us. We'd be glad to do a one-on-one, either through Zoom or by email, however you want to do it, by phone, and actually go over the things with you on what to expect. There is a lot, because it's hard on a person being released, and when you're in one environment and then going to another environment, it is very difficult on a person for just that simple change. But we will take the time out and go over a lot of stuff with you on what to expect, some of the myths and some of the stuff that's actually true, and we'll go over that with you because there's a lot, and there's really a lot for a person to take in to consideration. It seems like we are getting more calls than ever from actually a lot of these organizations that have been up and running for a long time, but they simply do not have the resources that they did have, and they're like, hey, do you have any knowledge of any resources in this particular area? And I'm like, only thing that I have right now is the resources that's on my website. Did you check that out? And they was like, I think we did. And I was like, well, let me go on there and see what all we have in that area. And I done that while I was on the phone. I went over the stuff that I had with that organization, and they was like, well, we already reached out to those people. So that's a lot of the stuff that we're seeing right now, is that there's so much going on because of the pandemic that a lot of these big places do not have the resources as they once did. And that is very sad. That is something that in hope that one day we can get the courts to understand and the government to be like, okay, we need to do something about this. We need more funding. As we have been saying all along through all of our podcasts, is the biggest problem that we have right now is there's not enough funding for these organizations to be able to stay afloat. That's like in our case, all we do is we try to help people by giving advice. None of our stuff is legal advice, even though I am taking criminal justice classes. that still does not, that really, to be honest with you, that actually was for me to be able to understand more on the legal side, because, okay, we know on the other side, but we don't know on the legal side. So to be able to help people at Hope for Felons and to better understand the laws, then I was able to take criminal justice classes to help. Like right now, we are finishing up criminal law, which may or may not be the last class that I take. I'm still trying to debate on what way I'm going to go, because I also will be finishing up my certificate for computer programming, which is a big help. It has helped me, so that way, designing more for Hope for Felons, I will be able to do more to help, and that way we don't have to pay anybody out of pocket, that we can just do it ourselves, and that saves us a whole lot of money. But getting back to our resources and people being released from prison, I really think that it is a must that every person, the family member, friend, knows and understands what to expect when they get out. If you're watching this podcast, 9 times out of 10, you're probably on our website, www.hopeforfelons.com. But if you want to reach us and contact us, and please do, because if you are watching this podcast, I will be giving out one hat with our logo on it every month. I'll be giving one hat out every month to a listener. So please, please, please put your name in there. Let us know that you're listening or watching, because we do have our radio station and up and running. So, and actually I just done a small thing on there this morning, and it was really good. Had a good time on it. But please, please, please take the time out and let us know if you are listening to our podcast, if you listen to our radio station. We'd be glad to hear from you and get a chance to win a hat. Get a chance to win a hat. And we hope that things will go great for your family member or loved one that is being released from prison. As we know that this is a very hard time and a very tough time to deal with during this pandemic. And, you know, they are pushing for people to take the shots in prison, out here on the street. But it really depends on you, the person, if you want to take it or not. But I do hear that they're trying to make it mandatory that every person on campus take the vaccine, which I think is ridiculous, because you're basically pushing and forcing a person and say, well, you can't do this unless you take this. That's not right. It's not right at all. But that's basically what the government wants to do. And actually, you know, I want to say this, and I hope I don't make anybody mad, but if you look at what this administration is doing, they are trying to gain control. And that's simply what they're doing. because they want that control. And but the thing is, they want the control, but like the border, they ain't doing nothing about the border, which I think is not good at all. But let's get back to the prisoners being released from prison, and let's go ahead with that. It's very important. I mean, right now, you know, as everybody knows, we're living in crazy, crazy times. And I'm really hoping that we get through this pretty soon, because I'm tired of wearing a mask, to be honest with you. And that's one thing that I'm going to be doing too, is I will be making masks with our logo on it, with our website address and all that. So stay tuned. Also, because you could win one of those as well. So we do have a lot of stuff coming through the pipeline, and I know you will enjoy. My goal today was to shed a little bit of light on what is going on, and to let everybody to be aware that all organizations are struggling. That's basically what I wanted to let everybody know today. And, you know, I mean, we know that it don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, but they're really struggling. And please don't forget to contact us if you want or need support for your family member or friend that is being released. And also, if you have any questions at all, please send them to info@Hope for Felons. The number is listed here on the screen, and you'll be able to contact me at the email address or the phone number below. Until next time, have a good day and stay safe.